Aloha. So, the idea behind what we were doing today, besides just looking at songs and being able to analyze them and then figure out what key they're in, it's a conscious effort that what we're doing up here in our head and what we're doing down here on the piano is kind of working itself out to be both of one and the same process. While learning something like a C major, we learn first what middle C is, and then from there, an octave. So one of the things we might have missed out on that I'd like to talk about and do just a little bit more detail, is our C major scale. Now, there are two types of C major scales. I'm doing ours from C4. You also have C1 all the way down there, C2, C3, C4, C5, 6, 7, and 8. The idea is if you could find the two black notes, C sharp and D sharp, or E flat and D flat, we would then go down a half step or a minor second. So let's start there. C to C sharp is a minor second. It's a diatone, it's a cluster. It hits both of these notes and it feels wrong. It's really cool, I love it. When you have a minor second, they occur everywhere. Just as long as the two notes you're playing touch each other. If they're not touching each other and they span a distance that has a note between, it's a major second. Because we're combining a minor second plus a minor second, and we get a major second. So a minor second plus a minor second plus a minor second equals a minor third. So C to C sharp, minor second. C to D, major second. C to D sharp, minor third. C to E, major third. It feels like a major harmony, yeah? When we go from C to F, it's a perfect fourth. When we go to F sharp, it's an augmented fourth. When we go to 5, it's a perfect fifth. When we go to the raised fifth, it's called an augmented fifth. When we go to the sixth note, it is just the sixth. When we go to the seventh, it is the minor seventh. When we go to the seventh, it is the major seventh. And then perfect octave. So minor second, major second, minor third, major third, perfect fourth, augmented fourth, perfect fifth, augmented fifth or minor sixth, major sixth, minor seven, major seven, perfect eighth. Flat 9, 9, just a minor note, just a major note. 11, sharp 11, this is just a fifth, like a G would be a fifth. This is a, I forgot, I blanked out. Hold on. 13th, flat 13th, and then A would be the 13th. Why? It is 6, 13, F would be the 4, that would be the 11, D would be the 9, there's the 9. So that is the basic explanation of how to view chords. C major, when you add a 7th, it's a major 7th. C major, when you add a B flat, it's a minor 7th. When you look at it through the eyes of what is this, it's a minor. It's an E minor to be specific. When we look at it through the eyes of what's a C major and an E minor together, we get a major 7th. That happens in every chord. So if we take a B major and then play a minor third on the top of it, we get a B major 7. Fun. So what this leads into is being able to take those Steely Dan type movements and chords and demystify what an F major is, E minor, D minor, and C by making it a major 7. There's a lot you you could do with Steely Dan chords. What Steely Dan does really well that mainstream music didn't hear at the time that yacht rock was coming out was the efficient use of the major 7. Because most of music that was heard on the radio from that time stems from the Beatles and stolen blues rock and roll. It consisted around not the major 7th, but the dominant 7th, which has a completely different feel than having a major 7th. And Steely Dan used that to their advantage. So, not staying too much time on the Steely Dan. I would say when you go home, the idea that we ended on like a C major, and then we flatten a third, becomes a C minor. Just take away that a minor third is the harmony that makes up the perfect 5th, and then the minor third make up a C minor. If you look at it through this lens, what is the third to the major 3rd? It's a minor 2nd. So this is a major 2nd. So that's a minor 3rd, and that's a major 3rd. So the distance between here and here is a minor 3rd, and then a major 3rd. So to say a C minor, you're just basically hearing a minor 3rd and a major 3rd. Well, a C major is a major 3rd and a minor 3rd. Here's a minor 2nd, major 2nd, minor 3rd. It changes the way we look at all of our chords and relativity after that point, and really helps us zone in on what notes are part of each chord. C major, D minor, E minor, F major, G major, A minor, B diminished, C major. C sharp major, D sharp minor, E sharp minor, F sharp major, G sharp major, A sharp minor, right? We're going to be going to a B sharp diminished, and then a C sharp major. D major, E minor, F sharp minor, G major, A major, B minor, B minor, C sharp diminished, and D major. You see where I'm going with this? That piece of paper lays out all the notes. The first box in the 1 position, even though we've been talking about, let's do it through the eyes of F. F major goes to a G minor. That G minor has the only flat in the key of F. So any chord that has a B in it, it can't be a B natural. When we do play F, G, A, B, because it has a major 3rd, the scale that is derived out of not playing the B flat is that raised 4th we were speaking about. Listen to the difference between an F major and an F Lydian. And then here's F Lydian. Both of them have a major 3rd, so both scales are major scales. The only other scale within that major would be, of course, based off of the 5th. We just saw how 1, 2, 3, 4 is Lydian. Well, when we play C major, C, D, E, F major, if we play C major from C, that is C Ionian. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do becomes re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. We add a note at the end. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C is C Ionian. When we do the same C major scale, 1, 2, 3, under 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but we start at D, that gives us D minor, or more importantly, D Dorian. D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D. Then E minor is E Phrygian, and then F Lydian. Then G Mixolydian. Notice how in G Mixolydian, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, we don't play G's F sharp because we're playing through the eyes of C major. No sharps, no flats. So when we get to G, whole step, half step, that's the same as it was for C. But when we do whole step, half step, whole step, that's out of place. It should have been whole step, half step. When we don't do that, it changes our spacings, thusly giving us G Mixolydian, which is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, flat 7, 1. If we played C Mixolydian, we would have C, D, E, F, G, A, B flat, C. Do you see how that works over a C7? Diminished, C. C, using this 7th, everything I did down here, no matter what I'm doing, anybody soloing would be able to use these notes. But more importantly, that B flat, and then tritones, and then being able to moving through a major to minor, and then runs. The concept is you start slow, and then you do it a little faster. And you find the nuggets that you did. You incorporate it into your playing. The reason why we teach through the eyes of C, D, E, F, G, A is when you get to A and you play a C major scale, just doing that gives you A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A. So just like all the other ones, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, those are all the notes of E Phrygian. When we get to A Aeolian, A all the way to A, all the notes that are in there correspond to a whole step, half step. Whole step, whole step, half step, whole step, whole step. So what we do is we see that as not being a part of C major. C minor is not a part of C major. However, when we go forward and realize C major, C minor, and then flattening the 5, 1, flat 3, flat 5 is a type of chord, that chord, C diminished, is only in the key of C sharp major. And it's not called a C diminished, it's called a B sharp diminished. Do you see how it ties together now, seeing that when we go D major, E minor, F sharp minor, G major, A major, B minor, C sharp diminished, that C sharp diminished is only in the key of D major. Just like B diminished is really only in the key of C major. And because all the notes in A minor are the same as C major, that means the B diminished is also in the key of A minor as the minor second. Minor first, diminished second, major third, minor fourth, minor fifth, major sixth, major 7, back to minor 1. But when we play in a major key, we call it a major 1, minor 2, minor 3, to a major 4, a major 5, minor 6, a diminished 7, and a major 1. But because the notes of the keys are relevant, let's say we're in the key of G major. G major, A minor, B minor, C major, D major, E minor. All the notes in E minor and G major are the same. So I would have minor 1, diminished 2, major 3, minor 4, minor 5, major 6, major 7, and minor 1. It looks weird because we don't necessarily think about our minor as being a 1, but because every note in the key of D is the same as the key of B minor, we don't differentiate the two. We just know that the 2 sharps we play in B minor are C sharp F sharp. Or else B minor would sound weird. And what I just did there was utilizing fourths in a chromatic pattern. What we will talk about later is how to use patterns. And if you want to develop your own pattern, start with C, E, G, D, E, F, the pattern of triads, moving them up. Thumb, middle finger, pointer. Thumb, middle finger, pinky. We move these for a reason and find the triads. If we move slowly like this, the next time we could go down. 5, 3, 1, 5, 3, 1, C, F, D, B, G, E. You see where I'm going with this? We're moving up each one of these until we get a good basis for what our fingers are doing. So when we're moving our hand downwards, we can get two hands moving at the same time, not necessarily playing the hardest thing in the world, but you'll find that these little exercises we do for our hands and for our brain pay off while playing music. See how this F Lydian works perfectly on that groove. All the notes that are contained within all these chords are there. I'm omitting the B flat from F major, 1, 2, 3, 4, because I'm not playing an F major with an Ionian mode, a major scale. I'm playing F major with a Lydian mode, a raised fourth, and I thought it sounded magnificent. I know every time we talk about something, it's a lot of information. However, these are little caveats for you to have fun with. Try and replicate and do your own program. Pick up some music, try and figure out what key it's in, pluck around on here until you find it, and then turn it off and try and figure out the chords on your own, then go back to it. Use it for a little refresher. If you have any questions, put it in the comment section below, and I'll get back to you. Aloha!